Well, hi, and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. I don't want to be controversial, but you might see this question that way. If a guest comes to visit, is it the place of any woman in the home to head dutifully to the kitchen and prepare food and refreshments to keep the guest happy as they sit and talk with the men in the house? Please don't turn off yet. It's a fact that way back in Israel when Jesus lived, that is the kind of thing that happened. To be fair, even in this country, until relatively recently, the same thing happened. In some cultures, it still does. A patriarchal system highlights the role of men over women and assigns roles and importance. This is the world that Jesus was brought up in and lived in. But Jesus always pushed the boundaries. The Bible is full of stories where he and his followers said no to those societal norms. The world is not going to be like that. Hopefully, you may have some idea where I'm going, and you're a little bit more on my side now. I want to share one of these little stories with you today. I just wanted to set that scene. So Jesus goes to a village. When he gets there, he's welcomed into a home. In the home are two sisters and their brother. Martha, the first sister, welcomes Jesus and heads to the kitchen to get to work. It's not that anyone sent her there. This is just what she expects and is her normal. The second sister, Mary, is more intrigued with what Jesus has to say, so she stays where he is with all his followers and all the other men. And as he speaks, she makes herself comfortable sitting on the floor near Jesus' feet. A little while later, Martha notices that she seems to be doing all the work, so she goes looking for her sister. She really should be there with her, making sure everything is sorted and everything is ready. Martha goes into the room with Jesus and interrupts the conversation to ask Jesus to send Mary out to help her get on with the work. Now, under normal circumstances, at that time, a visitor would agree and questions would be asked of why Mary had been allowed to stay in the first place. But Jesus' response is completely different. He says no. Mary has chosen to sit and listen to me. That is a good thing. In fact, it's the best choice she could have made. Jesus would go on to say that he would only be around for a short time and it was important for people to listen to his message. He would also suggest to Martha that she take some time to pause and listen. The practical stuff, food and drink, that could wait. Right now, the best thing was to take time to hear what Jesus had to say. It might be subtle, but it's massively powerful. In that patriarchal society, Jesus accepted all people equally, regardless of gender. We might see that as normal and right today, but back then, this was a massive thing. We go on to see this message of equality become quite a defining value of Jesus and the early development of the church, as the Bible tells us about it. There's some interesting advice and instruction to help the church have credibility at times with people who didn't understand that. But that equality was always there. And it's a value we take very seriously at LRCC today. Whoever you are, whatever your situation, whatever you know or don't know, we want LRCC to be a community of Christians who love and accept everybody equally. If we don't, then we're missing something very fundamental, because that is the message that Jesus shared. You see, at its heart, Jesus' message was that we've all done things wrong and we all need forgiveness in order to reconnect with God in the way that we were always intended to. It makes no odds who you are, where you're from. We're all in the same state. The offer of forgiveness is equally shared with everyone because Jesus died to make that possible. And everyone gets to accept it in the same way, free and without cost. If you want to know more about that, do get in touch. My time, I'm afraid, has gone today, but I'd be really happy to explain more. God bless you. I'll see you next time, and I do hope you have a great week.